Hi, Matt Frederick here. I am humbled that you've taken the action to watch my video. I'm speaking today about an education program that's taken me 1 year to make, but 30 years in the making. The program is designed to help people in four ways. Number one, you might be a brand new investor finding yourself wading through confusion. Well, I'll help you get through that. Number two, you've invested, you bought a few properties, but now you're stuck in the mud. I'll help you get unstuck. Number three, perhaps you've been investing for a while and maybe you have a good portfolio, but you know it's time to move to the next level. I'll help you step up to commercial or to development in my video library, or perhaps you've been investing for many, many years. You're a seasoned investor, but you want to compare notes to somebody else. So we can help with that too. And in fact, I believe that my online video library will help you so much that I've included what's called a 90-day challenge program. My 90-day challenge program will be 24 tasks to walk through to help you to get the best out of the library and to get you start rolling on achieving some of your goals. So come on board and let's have a conversation. I do podcasts and I speak to investors from time to time, and there's a hands down common question that I'm always asked, and that's simply this: what is the number one roadblock to real estate investing success? And you would think the answer is something like, I don't have enough money to start, or maybe I don't have enough credit, maybe I don't have the time, maybe I don't have enough information. The answer is actually too much information. Information is abundant. It is in every source out there, and it is so scrambled that is the number one roadblock to success. Let's talk a bit about that. Let's talk a bit about why scrambled information is a trap and stops people from moving forward. Well, number one, although there's information out there, is it in the right sequence? Is it in number one, two, three, four, five, six, seven? Or are you getting number one, then number four, then number two, then number seven? The wrong sequence, you get wrong results. Secondly, how about the blanks? Sometimes you're getting information, and even if you get it in the right sequence, 1 to 7, you might get 1 and 2, you skip 3, 4, maybe you got 5, but did not get 6, and now you're at 7. Missing information costs you money, slows you down, causes you not to get the results that you want. Number 3, there's a lot of generic information out there. Not expert information, just generic, just rehashed stuff that you keep hearing all the time, and sometimes even just renamed. Same old stuff. So you have to understand that to be successful, you need detailed information, not generic information. Number 4, the details have to complete till the end. You have to have details till the end. In other words, you don't want to get 90% through with information, and then the last 10% you can't find somewhere because it's secret or hidden. All of a sudden, you end up at the finish line, but you can't cross it. That's not too good. The next point is people get their information from a chosen source. Maybe they love reading books, or maybe they like listening to audio tapes, or maybe video. I think it's important for me to show you, here is the strategy, and show it to you in writing, audio, and also a video presentation of that same information, getting it from multiple sides. Sadly, there are a lot of people out there who are not real investors. They fake it till they make it. Don't fake it and be a teacher. And I hear a lot of things out there that are just not right. I know that. I've gone through that myself as I was learning to invest, getting wrong information and applying it and getting wrong results. Now, I'm a firm believer that too much information, especially scrambled, is a problem when it comes to success in real estate investing. And therefore, in my video library, I solved this problem by creating 100 videos. That's 50 hours of training. I broke them into 9 categories, and these categories are on residential to commercial to development, investing across Canada, the US, offshore, and it's sequential, which means everything is in the right order, and I do not leave any blanks. It's all filled in. To add to that, I've created 50 audio phone calls where I'm speaking to property managers trying to connect to owners, and I'm speaking to building owners trying to see if they'll actually sell their properties. And these are all off-market properties. I think this is something great for you to listen to. It's unscripted, it's improv. I want you to see how I handle each situation. I believe day to day, you have to have your working papers. Sometimes it's a spreadsheet, sometimes it's a form, it could be a checklist, could be an agreement, a document that you require. Like you to go to rccsol.com/videos, like you to choose by video library. You would choose all video/audio. And that way you get all the videos, plus you get 50 plus audios of me speaking to property managers, property owners, and you get all my documents, 75 plus documents that I use daily in order to achieve my task as an investor. So go ahead and put in your name, your email, set up a password, credit card information, and become part of the team of investors who are moving forward. How did I become an investor? Well, I'd like to share with you my life before investing and my life after investing. So I started my work life as a soldier in the Canadian Armed Forces Reserve. So what is the reserve? The reserve just means that I'm able to go to school as my day job at the same time every Tuesday night and one weekend in a month and 2 or 3 weeks a year, I go away and learn to do Army stuff. Now I love the military. It was great because I learned command and control, I learned leadership, I learned discipline, and how to achieve impossible tasks. What I didn't like about it, and I realized why I could not be a soldier for the rest of my life, is because when I was there, they had 100% control of my time. They told me where to go, what to do, what to eat, and when to eat. And right away, I realized that's just not me. So when I graduated, I worked for the Bank of Montreal. Great company, huge company. Getting in young in my 20s meant that I had a 40-year career with the bank as a programmer. So what's the problem? Well, one day I was sitting in a cafeteria and I'm sitting with all the new folks. And I'm looking at the folks who've been there for 20 years, the 40-year-olds, thinking, you know what? All I'm really going to do over the next 20 years in this company is move from this table of the beginners to the table of the old folks. And I thought, this is like a book. I can see my entire life. Although it was not 100% control like the military, it was still 75% control. I ended up leaving and going to IBM, which I liked a lot because I got a chance to get out of the office. So 50% of the time I was out there, 50% of the time I was in the office, but I realized that I was charging $150 an hour for IBM, getting paid $30 of that. So I'm like, man, I'm doing the lion's share of the work. I'm getting $30. IBM's getting 100 of the 130. I felt as though, man, I'm in an advanced form of slavery here and not even know it. I left, created my own company, and I realized, oh, wait a second. They were not paying that 130 for me. It was those three big letters. But I survived, and I was able to become a teacher at a private vocational school, so post-secondary, like a college. Teaching computer systems, it was a great job, but after a while, it also became monotonous because once you've taught your 5 or 6 different courses and you reteach them, I found myself the walls closing in. Later on, through my real estate investing, I also got into other businesses where I'm a restaurant owner. I've owned 2 restaurants, one with a partner, another one with myself, wellness clinics, and also industry. So when it comes to real estate now, what have I done? Well, with 30 years of experience, I started like everybody else did with the rental, the buy, the renovate, the rent, the refinance, and of course, repeat, buy, fix, and sell. I did a whole bunch of those by myself and sometimes with partners. Rent to own, where I put people in my properties to rent to own from me. I also did wholesaling, what I call assignment of contract, finding great deals, putting them on the contract, and assigning the contract for a fee. I've been fortunate to do a lot of multifamily from 6 to 64 unit buildings, as well as strip plazas. And those are 8 or 9 different stores, and then sometimes a mixed use where you have some stores and some apartments above, as well as I've also built about 240 houses with my partners and about 3 buildings. So my real estate experience has been unique and interesting, and I've been fortunate to invest coast to coast. So right across Canada, from BC to Alberta to Saskatchewan to Ontario to Nova Scotia to Florida, Arizona, and offshore to Belize. In fact, my first house sits in front of me that I'm circling. My second investment property was a triplex. So we go from a duplex to a triplex. In the upper corner here, this is a house that was one of the first ones that I had built It was my home for about a decade. Let's talk a bit about other types of properties other than just houses. In the cottage world, I was fortunate to buy a series of cottages way back in the day when you could buy a cottage for about $100,000. Today, those same cottages are worth about 650, 750. I bought them as individuals, but because I packaged it and created a business, I was able to sell for them for way more than their value. That's an important concept to consider. My years experience. Back in the 2000s, the dot-com bubble burst. A lot of Americans thought the world was coming to an end. Everything was failing. And I went down to Florida and I bought properties when most Americans were running away from buying properties. Today, those properties are worth far more than I bought them for, and they're well maintained with great tenants. In 2007, 2008, when the US market began to collapse, again, Americans were running away from buying. I ran towards buying and I picked up a few properties in Arizona. And today, the values have doubled since that period of time. After I switched to development projects, the largest project we built for my partners is a 113 house subdivision. And after we built this large one, my partners wanted to go to even larger. I said, nope, not going to happen. We're going to do this large project, go back to small, fix any problems we have internally, then go back to large again. These are some of the projects we built, some of the 3-story, 50-unit or 22-unit condo buildings that I've had a chance to be part of. So I hope you enjoyed the few stories that I just mentioned about how I became an investor. And what I've done, I've taken that experience over 30 years and I've put together 100 training videos for you in about 9 different segments. The first segment is all about strategies. I go through an hour speaking about the ins and outs of the assignment of contract strategy, how to do buy, fix, sell, BRRRR, and these are substantial. These are not full of fluff or air. We're talking about here's the strategy, here are the things you should know, here are the charts and diagrams and documents, the scripts, and as well as all the letters that are required to make these strategies happen, which I enjoy bringing to the table. I also talk about the fundamentals, the things you need to know to understand how to make things work, the wisdoms that people don't tend to share, and the common sense that is not so common. I call those fundamentals, and I provide about 6 hours of fundamentals for you. Then when it comes to networking, how do you know yourself? How do you tell your story? How do you sell? How do you influence? How do you negotiate? I have 6 hours of insights that I've learned over the last 30 years, not just in real estate, but also in my other businesses, my restaurants, my clinics, my manufacturing. All the other businesses that I've done, I've put together this knowledge to help you to move forward. How to find investors. There's 6 hours on all the ins and outs on how you find that person to joint venture or to assign to, or to bring that private money to the table to help you to buy a property. Then we go to the essentials. There's 6 hours of step-by-step what you need to know to actually get deals done, whether it's residential or commercial. All that information is critical to your success. Then we go into the advanced portion of the 6 hours where we go into how do you view property? How do you look at repairs or things that need to be upgraded? This is a 90-minute video based on pictures, based on examples of things that you ought to see. Now, you still need an inspector, but at least it's a thing where you can go through and whittle away most of the properties to see which one is the one you need, then bring the inspector in. So as I said, there's 100 videos, 50 hours of instruction, 9 categories, everything is sequential, and everything is complete A to Z, as well as if you want to learn to build or develop, I have a whole segment on development, and that's about 8 hours, a very powerful system of how to actually build. Now, one thing I will tell you, when I was into residential real estate, I waited till I was ready to get into commercial. You know, when I got to commercial, looking back, residential became very easy because commercial is very complex. I wish I did it differently. I wish when I was doing residential, I spent 80% of my time in residential, 20% in commercial before I was ready. Because the extra standard that you require to succeed in commercial makes it possible for you to actually complete residential even faster. So right now, some of you may be into commercial. You should learn about development, because once I became a person who was able to build houses and build buildings, I found that commercial investing was child's play. It's important to always look at the next level up while you're still doing what you're doing. I'm also going to talk a bit about self-storage and how that system works. One of the best ways to make money in real estate, my most profitable real estate, is self-storage. And then there'll be a little bit about my journey. So I want you to take this into consideration when you do sign up for my video library. And if you choose the all video access, you get access to 50 audio phone calls that I make with property managers and with property owners trying to get off market deals. That's about 9 hours. I think you'll enjoy it. It's all improv, unscripted. Here's how you deal with the things that you're going to run into when you're talking to people to try to get their properties off market. And getting off market deals eliminates competition, gets you a better price, gets you more time, and you're able to actually put some clauses and conditions in to protect yourself because there's no competition. So again, 50 audios, 9 hours of instruction, first contact conversations with property managers, first contact conversations with owners, and the second and third conversation with that owner to cause them to give you the information you need to be able to put an offer in to secure that property. And I also provide you with 65 documents that you can download. And we have different segments that I think are very important. Let's take a moment to look at the middle section, property owner contact script. Notice the scripts that I put into place in order for you to use to actually speak to people about getting those properties. Let's take it a step up to property analysis. We go through our entire analysis script and how we analyze property and also the spreadsheets that go with it. Moving down to purchase agreements. We have purchase agreements in there that you can use, always get legal advice. Even something as simple as my joint venture agreement, which roughly this agreement, this JV quick explanation, helps somebody explain the agreement, but the actual agreement itself, where I say seek legal advice, that alone cost me $3,000 for that JV agreement. And I have many agreements in here for you to use. Folks, the best time to start is always now. I'd like you to go to rccsol.com/videos. I'd like you to choose Buy Video Library. To get the max value, the way it's been designed for you to achieve your goals, you would choose all video/audio. And that way you get all the videos, plus you get 50 plus audios of me speaking to property managers, property owners, and you get all my documents, 75 plus documents that I use daily in order to achieve my task as an investor. So go ahead and put in your name, your email, set up a password, credit card information, and become part of the team of investors who are moving forward. Now, I think it's very important to get to know your instructor, your coach, your mentor ahead of time. It's important to understand who they are as a person. Can they actually teach? Can they communicate? Am I learning? Is this someone I can sit there and listen to for a long period of time? So I provided a few ways for you to get to know me a little bit better. And the first is at my website, rccsol.com/team. There you can find my bio. It talks a bit about me and my history, as well as some video testimonials. You can also check out some of my podcast interviews where I've talked to different investors, heavy hitters and big players in the real estate investing market that have actually interviewed me. And you can get that at rccsol.com/podcast. I've also provided 4 free videos for you to get to know me a little bit better. And I think it's information that you need to know. And that's at rccsol.com/free. Check those out. And lastly, you can always look at my blogs and my writings. They're located at rccsol.com/blog. So go ahead and take a moment to check those out, get to know me a bit better. So now what I want to do is take you into the program. I want you to take a look to see what you will look at once you become a member of our online video series. What you'll notice is each segment, there are 9 segments that take you into a different direction. First of all, we have the 90-day challenge, which walks you through over 24 tasks, the ability to use a lot of the videos in the right sequence, what you should learn and how you should use them. And it's always there for a reference, keep that in mind. Then we talk about strategies, the strategies that are out there, and you could look and see which ones are the ones that you want to work with, Or you can plan it out. I want to work with this one now, this one later, this one later. We also talk about networking, exactly how to network with people to find the folks that you require to do the things you want to do, how to influence them. And then we talk about finding investors. We also have a fundamentals door as well as an essentials door. Keep in mind that we also have access to advanced self-storage development. So if we were to step now into one of the 9 categories, you would see a list of all the videos in this category. In this case, we have 15 videos. You'll see the names and the duration of each video. At the same time, off to the side, you can click each video to access them. Now, there's a bonus. Keep in mind that I always update the videos, so it's not just like a book. You buy a book and things don't change. Annually, sometimes twice a year, I update all the videos to bring it to current standards or to reflect any changes. I also add videos. So right now we have 100 videos. By the end of 2022, that's going to obviously go up further. I talk about 50 audio lessons. By the time you see this, most likely there might be 60 audio lessons. I'd like you to go to rccsol.com/videos. I'd like you to choose Buy Video Library. But to get the max value, the way it's been designed for you to achieve your goals, you would choose all video/audio. And that way you get all the videos, plus you get 50 plus audios of me speaking to property managers, property owners, and you get all my documents, 75 plus documents that I use daily in order to achieve my task as an investor. So go ahead and put in your name, your email, set up a password, credit card information, and become part of the team of investors who are moving forward.